Hello and welcome to this edition of the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Danny Neal, and I'm one of your co-hosts for today. We're getting ready to have a great show today. Today, we'll be featuring players and coaches from the Coconino High School Lady Panther flag football team. This year was the inaugural season for them, and it was a very special season for them. So, before we do that, I want to introduce my co-host, the most famous man in Flagstaff, the guy known just as Coach. You know, you got Madonna, you got all these one-name people, Michael, and you got in Flagstaff, Coach. And that's my guy, Tyrone Johnson. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing great, Coach. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to bring you out like Sid the Entertainer do to people, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man, but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People don't necessarily call me Coach.
No. That's true.
They call me a whole bunch of stuff, man. So let's keep it moving.
Except for your government name, Tyrone.
That's very true.
Well, good, man. You know, today our guests are some people you know very well, some people that you competed against. One young lady that we've both known, it was just coming up in the community.
Yep.
And once again, they had a great season for their first year, their inaugural season. It wasn't just special because it was their first year. It was special for as far as they went, the accolades they received, and just the thrill they gave the whole city of Flagstaff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this season, especially like you say, being their inaugural season, really coming out and being truly one of the top teams in the state,
right,
regardless of class, as far as 4A, 5A, or 6A. And so, obviously, it was fun competing against them. It was fun watching them on their journey and rooting for them as well.
Right. And so, with that, let's bring out the stars of the show, man.
Let's do it.
And that is coaches Molly Johnson, Coach Andrew Rojas Powers, and players, sophomore Blanca Gomez and senior Lucy Stigler. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
Well, good. Hey, we're glad to have you guys on. I was at the first inaugural Coconino Flag High game for ladies flag football, and it was special. It really was. And I just want to congratulate you guys on how well you played and how you came out your inaugural season and shocked the state.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So let's just get into some conversation. Typically, you know, for this show, we just really like to sit up and chop it up. Like if you came to the rec center and we just sitting there talking, and
right.
So we just really want to chop it up a little bit. And so, I'll start with you, Coach Powers, since you're here in the studio with us. First year, you guys got co-head coaches and stuff like that. What was the mindset and what was the approach coming into this season once you guys knew that you were going to have a flag football team?
Well, honestly, it was kind of just seeing how everything went. You know, we didn't know how anything was going to happen. Co-coaching overall, like we didn't know how many coaches we would need.
Mm-hmm.
We went the whole season with just two, but I thought it was perfect. Maybe next year we can add on one more and get a little bit of the admin stuff out of the way. But Coach Johnson was a huge part of it, and it was awesome just to have somebody to help build a program from the foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And coming in coaching flag football, did you play football?
Yeah, I graduated 2016 from Coconino, and I played football there. Didn't continue playing football, but been a huge fan and kind of know the ins and outs. I'm very fanatic about it.
Hey. And Molly, how did they rope you into this, Coach Johnson?
I have a little bit of coaching experience from the past with cross country, but I wanted to get to the high school level, and I saw that they had an open position here for flag football. And back in high school, I played on the Powder Puff team. That's all we had at my high school, but I thought it was a great opportunity to get a group of girls together that were interested in playing football and making a team together.
So, Coach Johnson, with that, this is the second year of flag football for AIA, and this is y'all first year participating. You and I had some conversations before the season started. How did you guys get that initial push? Because I know for Flag High, when they were asked, apparently they just jumped in and went with it. Coconino didn't come in the first year. So how did it come about this second year to where you guys were able to get a team?
I have to give all the props to Mia Pozar. She was required to come up with a list of girls that were interested in playing flag football in order to get the program started. And so she went around and got names written down of girls that were interested, and then went to Mr. Freeze with it, and it went from there. He got it going.
The rest was history, and a good history too.
Very much so, and you know, part of the show, we try to keep it real, and I want to just tell off on my partner here, Coach Johnson. The first year of Flag High, it was brought up to Flag High about flag football. Mrs. Brandel told me about it, and I went and told Coach Johnson about it. He's like, they didn't ask me to coach. You know, he was, and so one day I was with Miss Brandel, and Coach like, did you tell her? I'm like, what? I want to coach. So he took over the coaching, and it's history there. So I'm glad it was a really nice transition for you guys to come on. Blanca, what's up, girl?
Hi.
Been knowing you for a while, huh?
Yeah.
The whole family. So just knowing you as well as I do, what was the transition like, you going from playing tackle football with the boys and doing a very, very good job there to transitioning to flag football with less contact?
I mean, it wasn't a big transition because, like, the rules were kind of the same in, like, how to play the sport. But with less contact, I mean, it was different, but I still got hit quite a bit. So
It's true.
there was more contact than I thought there was going to be.
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to kind of chime in is people have the notion that it's less contact, but I mean, you girls are getting hit consistently throughout the game on various plays. You yourself as a quarterback, whether people are rushing you and trying to grab flags and knocking you over, hitting your arm in throwing motion. You said it's more contact than what you thought, but how was the game overall in terms of your likability to it? Because I know your mom had expressed you might not even play because you wanted that contact. You wanted to be more of the tackle. So how did this rate overall, this experience for you this year?
I mean, it was fun. It was a good experience, especially being the first year. It was mainly just me going out there and having fun and doing what I can.
Good. And Lucy, I heard about you at the first of the season. You know, all I heard about was this volleyball player that jumps out the gym, and all you have to do is throw the ball up to her, and she's so athletic, she'll go get the ball. That was true. So how did you transition from volleyball, which is pretty hands, you know, to flag football?
It's definitely a lot different. I enjoy both a lot, but there are some similarities. Like I'm using my hands a lot and I'm jumping a lot, especially as a wide receiver. So.
And with that, at wide receiver, I mean, you doing more than jumping a lot. You catching a lot and you scoring a lot. I mean, you look at your stat line and you had over 1,000 receiving yards this year. You had 21 touchdowns, and so that's pretty huge. That's pretty big. And I know, like Coach was saying, you're a big beach volleyball player and you're looking to go collegiately. But I hear you may have some aspirations to do it with flag football now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I have some offers for football, and I think I want to take football to the next level now. I've enjoyed doing volleyball, but I think, like, given this opportunity for football and to start a new sport, especially in the college division, I would take that.
That's awesome.
Well, that's all right. We got a Pro Bowler on our hands here. Well, that's really good. And do either of you ladies play other sports besides? I know you do beach volleyball. Blanca, I know you do a little bit of softball. Are you going to continue to do that?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see if I could continue doing softball.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. So coaches, Coach Powers, Coach Johnson, having such an amazing first season as you did, if there's one thing you could have changed just coming in as your first year, what would that be?
I guess I'll go first. Hard to say. I mean, it was almost a perfect season, so
right.
you can't really change too many things.
Right.
Maybe having one more assistant coach to help out with some admin stuff, like I was saying. But the girls picked up flag football so fast that we didn't need the extra help overall. So, maybe having some of the girls come out earlier in the season, or like the summer training that we did, because I'd say half the team wasn't at summer training. They just showed up day one for tryouts. And so maybe that's what I'll say could have been a little different, is having them out there a little bit more, having a little more time with these girls, So,
Coach Johnson?
I would probably say something I'm going to work on this next year is getting the word out to more freshmen. I think that's the one area that we didn't get a lot of girls in. So if I can talk to the incoming freshmen that are coming to Coconino and try to get them interested in flag football, I think that'd be great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Our year two, we were able to fill a JV team, and mainly we kept girls out there so that we could keep interest in the sport. So it'll be great to see if you guys will be able to, have your varsity team, have a JV team as we continue to work to grow this sport. But Coach, you guys came out, your offense is very high-powered, explosive. Your defense was stingy. What went into your coaching philosophy and the way that you chose to play the game this year?
Well, it was kind of fun to like build your own team type thing. So there's no right or wrong answers when it comes to plays. There's no right or wrong answers when it comes to defense. So I set up a few things. I've been watching Notre Dame football forever, so a little bit kind of came in from that. But it was really good in the end. I mean, our offense averaged 38 points per game, and then our defense averaged and allowing only 10 points per game. So both sides of the ball, really, really balanced team, I would say. And no, it worked well on both sides of the ball. It was awesome.
Absolutely. You guys competed very well. Even in the games that you lost, you guys competed extremely well. Like your first game of the season, and you came out, look, I know it was 5A, Highland. Yeah. And they were solid last year. They were solid this year. But after that first game, did you guys feel like, hey, we can do this, or were you like, whoa, we got some work to do?
The first game was like, whoa, we need some work to do. For sure. We didn't have like a pregame warm-up. We didn't have nothing. We kind of saw this other team that had a year ahead of us, and we were like, all right, let's kind of emulate what they're doing, and they had success last year, so how can we get into that mindset like they were in? And so we made a big change from game one to game two. And then we kind of rolled after that, kept building the team, kept building confidence. And, the ones that we did lose, they were close and right at the end. So, all of them came down to the last, I'd say, 3 minutes of the ones that we lost. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Lucy and Blanca, just knowing how flag football was organized at Flag High School, there were softball players, soccer players, volleyball players. Were these a lot of classmates that you knew already, or was there a lot of getting to know new people and getting that chemistry to play as a team like you did? And when did you know, hey, we ready? Lucy?
Say it's kind of a little bit of both. A lot of the girls definitely already knew each other, especially because half our team was seniors. But a lot of us have also never played a sport together. We were all in separate sports. So I think like learning how to use our skills all together made the chemistry a lot better.
And as a sophomore, Blanca?
I knew like a lot of teammates from just past like sports, but there was a lot that I like got to know, and like there was also many people that I've never actually played a sport with. So just getting that bond together and like seeing all the things they can do was really good.
That's cool. So Lucy, football, did you have any type of background? Did you have brothers? Were you a fan? Or was this just something you just looked at and said, you know what, I want to give it a go?
Well, I kind of grew up like around football. My dad's the boys football coach, the varsity coach, and my brother is on the boys team. So I've always kind of been around football and I've always loved to watch it. So just the opportunity to actually play it was a huge thing.
So if that's the case, y'all must have had some serious backyard games because you came out like you knew what you were doing.
Thanksgiving was crazy.
Yes, indeed.
Make me practice before practice, like summer practices even started.
Well, that's all right. And Blanca, for you being a sophomore and the quarterback, how was it? Like Lucy just mentioned, you were so senior packed. How was it for you being a leader on the team, being a sophomore?
It's just a lot of responsibility because like I'm an underclassman, but I mean, I just treated them like any other teammate, made them, it wasn't hard. I mean, there's sometimes it could be, but I just treated everybody basically the same and took that leadership.
And as you as a sophomore, it's easy to treat everybody the same. How did the seniors feel about you coming in as a sophomore being a leader? Obviously, they took to it well, so I'm not trying to cause controversy, but I'm just saying that obviously they did, and it was special for seniors to accept you as their leader.
I mean, I don't know how they feel about it, but I don't think it was that bad. I mean, they didn't really mind me being a leader, so.
Well, Coach Johnson, you're smiling and laughing over there. What's on your mind?
Their perspectives on things.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, Coach Johnson, as you're going through this season, Mia Pozar did a great job getting the signatures and stuff like that. You guys come in. We talked a little about the first game. What were some of the challenges that you guys faced that you had to figure out and push through and make sure that the team could follow and push forward so you could be successful like you were?
I think it started off with just the administration stuff behind the scene that you don't really hear about. That just built up, and so there's a lot of things going on at one time. So that was a beginning challenge, and then making sure that we were preparing the girls as best we could before we had our first game. That was another challenge. And then helping them after that first game to improve to the ability that we know we could get to. And then I would just say throughout the season, just making sure that the girls felt supported by both of us and then also felt supported by their teammates and meshed well. That was a continuous challenge just because this is my first time coaching an all-girls team. But the bonds that they created and overcame with those challenges was incredible to see.
That's awesome. Did you guys do any special team building activities, or was it really all on the field how you guys created this bond?
I would say a little bit of both. We did some pasta dinner nights and they'd play games and stuff like that. But I think a lot of it came down to just overcoming the challenges during games together, figuring things out on the field together, just because it was a first time for everybody. I think they just had to grow and learn together, and that pulled them together as well.
And Coach Powers had mentioned the administrative part of it. And I know this probably was a sport that wasn't budgeted for. So you had to not only get team together, you had to get uniforms together. You had to get travel together. You had to get transportation together. How was that?
I'm going to take no credit for that because I don't do any of it. So Coach Johnson did all of that, and that's why I was very blessed this year. I was just, I'm horrible with that type of thing. They'll give me a check or something, it's lost, It's in a recycle bin or something.
Understand.
So Coach Johnson did a really good job this year of kind of organizing things, getting it ready, and that kind of just allowed me to focus solely on the game and figuring out how it works and translating that into the girls. So it was a good team, or coaching scheme that we had. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Coach Johnson competed against you. We got so many Coach Johnsons here today. Excuse me. But when Mr. Coach Johnson, which is what I call him all the time anyway, played against you. They played very hard. It was a good game. In the end, you came out as the victors. And I can truly say that when you guys played Prescott in the Final Four, I didn't know what had happened. I saw where you had lost, but his play-by-play given to me about the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, he was so excited for you guys. And if I didn't know no better, I'd have thought you guys won. The way he gave me the play-by-play and talked about how hard you guys played and how excited he was for you as an opposing coach, but still in the city supporting you. So that had to be one of the most intense games you guys have played.
Oh, yeah. It came down to the wire, and you know what? I see it as a win. You know, everyone thought we were down and out, right? And we came back and tied it up, you know, and we only had a few minutes to do that. So brought a little hope in, and it kind of stung a little bit more because we did that when we did lose. So, but so proud of the girls, man. They were fighting the whole time. And I know that some of the other girls were talking to me saying, like, this is the first time they've had a team that didn't give up when they were down. And we did a few comeback wins during the season, and they just, man, like they don't give up, you know? And so that's why I try to tell them, you know, during that game, it was like, hey, I have 2 timeouts left. It's not over till it's over. And so they trusted, and then we made a comeback. And so it was it's cool to see them work that hard for that. So.
Yeah, I mean, just watching online, you know, the streaming, and, you know, at about 4 minutes left, you guys are down 21-7.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you make the drive, you get the touchdown, you're down by just 7. You elect to keep the ball. And for a while there, I was like, what are they doing? Are they not going to keep the ball? Are they going? I'm like, what's going on?
I had to walk out to the field and tell the ref, you know?
I'm like, what is going on? And then you got the pass interference, and next play, touchdown. I'm like, oh, here it go.
Yeah.
And
then the interception.
I said, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. So at that moment, look, I'm going to go to the players first. What were you guys thinking at that moment? You got the interception. At that point in time, it was less than 2 minutes. It was about 1 minute and 50-something seconds left in the game. You're in their territory. I think you guys may have been on the 40 or 35-yard line or something like that. What was going through your minds at that point?
Lucy?
I think we were very excited in that second just because we had came back, and we all, like, at halftime, we were all like, we got to come back, we can do it. And we knew that we would either win as a team or lose as a team. And I think everybody put all their effort into that. And yeah.
So what was the huddle like, Blanca, in that time, on that last drive? What was your huddle like?
We were just all like trying to help each other up and saying like, hey, we can do this. And it was just a lot of confidence in the huddle.
That's cool. And then from the sideline, there's only so much you can do. You make the plays, you make the calls, you try and give the girls the best chance that, you know, you can for them to be successful. What's going on in the coach's mind? You guys just got the interception. You just made the comeback. Momentum is your way. Are you playing for a field goal? Are you playing for a touchdown? What's kind of going on in the coach's mind at that point?
Yeah, we were going for field goal. We were trying to run the ball. Yeah, it just happened so that I called a play that was a pitch, but I forgot that I told Blanca earlier at the beginning of the game, with the way that Prescott plays, you might be able to pitch and throw it, but I forgot that I told her that. And so it kind of, I don't know, there was something lost, but, you know, and I might have messed that one up, you know, but they picked it, went all the way back and scored that touchdown. But I think we just ran out of miracles. You know, we pulled off like 5 of them during that game, and that was the limit there. So.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And Coach Johnson, after a game like that, how much sleep do you get?
Not a ton. But I just wanted the girls to know just that we cared about them and that we loved them and we were proud of them. I didn't want it to be a negative. It wasn't the ending that we wanted, but I didn't want it to be a negative experience for them and to end on a negative note. So I just tried to tell them after the game, like, we love you guys. You did incredible. You worked so hard and you tried your best every single day, including this game. And that's all we could have asked for as coaches. So not much sleep, but I hope that the girls realized how much that they are cared for and how supported they are.
And one thing we should have clarified probably earlier, but are you the offensive coordinator and Coach Johnson the defensive coordinator, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, I set up both sides, and then I was like, all right, now the offense needs a little bit of love, so I'll give Johnson the defense, and she honestly crushed it. The girls loved her. They were like, let's do it, and they had a lot of – the defense was always on fire, getting tons of interceptions, turnovers, fourth and outs, So, yeah, no, that's how we kind of separated it kind of after, like, the second game. I just kind of went over to the offense, and Coach Johnson took the defense.
And for you ladies, how was it playing in the system? Blanca, for you, being in tackle and everything else, when they came up with the system and the schematics, were you questioning things? Were you like, nah, we should do this, we should do that because of all the experience you had? Or did you just trust fully and just jump in and go with it?
I just kind of trusted the coaches just to see what they had in mind. I mean, I put a little bit of my thought into there, but I just trusted the coaches.
That's awesome.
Well, that's good. And because of your experience, I'm sure they whatever you had to say, they it wasn't taken lightly. Because once again, you've been successful doing tackle football, so you're just that player. But for me, I'd mess with Coach Johnson a little bit and sometimes say, Coach, man, you need a coach for flag football, give me a call, And he never called me, right? He never called me. But then the last 2 or 3 practices when he came into basketball practice, like, it's freezing, man. I knew then why I didn't coach flag football. How did you guys handle that cold weather like that? Being out there practicing in it, and obviously in Prescott have to play in it. Did that affect you in any kind of way?
I don't like playing in cold weather. It's kind of hard to play in the cold weather. But, I mean, you just have to adapt to it. Like, especially when throwing the ball, I just found some hand warmers and tried to warm my hand up just so I could get out there and throw the ball.
Yep. And that's one thing, throwing the ball. But once you make it to playoffs, and I'm not sure, I don't know what ball you play with throughout the season. If you play with, like, the composite ball, it's a little bit softer. If you play with the leather ball, when you get to the playoffs and stuff, that's a little bit harder, especially when it's cold. And somebody like yourself, Lucy, who has to catch that, how is it when the ball is freezing like that, catching that hard ball, especially somebody like Blanca, as hard as she throw it?
Blanca definitely threw some darts that hurt my hand, but yeah, we would get in trouble if we wouldn't catch it. So I definitely just had to say, like, catch the ball, and not think about it, no matter how cold my hands were.
Lucy actually played like most of the season with a pin in her finger too.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a pin in your finger,
So
you're still doing all that?
She was going crazy with a pin.
Wow.
So I was like, that's crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. And did you have it in during the cold weather? Because those pins get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I still have it in. I get it out Monday, but I broke it before the second game of the season, and I got surgery that night, and then I just went back to practice the next day. So.
Wow.
Man, you that different kind of tough there.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. Me, I'd have been out for the season.
You break your nail, you'd be out for the season.
I didn't play football. But anyway, I mean, that's impressive. That's very impressive to know you went through that. How did the coaches handle it being out there in the cold weather? Because you're not moving much.
Yeah, you got this, Coach Johnson.
A lot of layers. There was a lot of layers being worn every day at practice, every day at games. I was messaging people to try and bring heaters to the games, just so that the girls could stay as warm as possible. But yeah, I don't do well in the cold either. So if I can bundle up, then I'm doing a little bit better.
Awesome. So, coaches, this was first year for us last year when it was the first year, we talked about first, just the first for the program, first for history. On the offensive end, we know who got the first touch, who got the first touchdown, whether it was rushing touchdown, away, first touchdown at home, receiving, all that good stuff. I'm wondering, what was the first? Who was the first to make a significant play to put Coconino on the map?
Blanca to Bailey. That was the first one, passing touchdown. And then there was a lot of first after that. So first, receiving touchdown, first this and that. And the stats are kind of crazy. We had 3 girls in the top 10 receiving yards. Blanca was number 1 for quarterback, 2 in the top 10 on defense. It was just kind of a crazy year for stats, and you can see that it wasn't just one girl, it was all the girls, and that's exactly what we were trying to teach them. This is a group sport, and the stats will come if you guys play properly, so.
Well, I know you guys brought a crowd out. You had a very, very good following, which is just exceptional. We definitely supported you. You said you had a lot of seniors this year. How many seniors?
Was it 12 or was it 13?
13.
13.
And how many did you carry on the team?
All of them were starters pretty much. So
I mean, total number of players.
Oh, number of players, 26 was what we had.
So half.
Yeah.
Half of your players are gone next year.
And they were all starters. So it's fine. It's fine. We've done it before. We've started from the ground up. We'll do it again.
Exactly.
We'll do it again.
Exactly. So how do you go about that the same way as you did for the first season? Or are you going to change some? Change some methods about the way, like you said, you'll start earlier with the word out.
Yeah, we'll get the word out. I think that because of the success that the girls showed this year, a lot more interest, a lot more girls coming out to try out, and bigger pool for us to kind of work with. I think we're one step ahead already, having Blanca coming back, being the quarterback.
No doubt.
She could run an offense without me being there, honestly. So having that, and then our one freshman on the team, she'll be, the one that's on defense. So there was like one that wasn't a senior on the offense and one that wasn't a senior on the defense, which was kind of crazy. But they'll come back strong. Yeah, we got leaders. That's right.
You got leaders.
That's right.
So with the season you had this year, Blanca, what are your goals for next year?
Kind of just building a good team. Like, I didn't have high expectations this year, but we made it really far. And next year, I hope we can make it almost as far. And I think we need to just start building a team first before getting into anything else.
Coach?
No, I think, you guys definitely have the cornerstone in a quarterback that is athletic and, experienced and can throw the ball. For us, our quarterback that return got hurt. And so then we had to go with the first-year person who really put in a lot of work and did good and allowed us to be in games and eventually turn some stuff around to where we can make playoffs. And so, I just encourage you, just be that leader, do what you do, and everything's going to be all right. But for you coaches, a lot of your players were two-way players. How does that affect like some of the returners coming back? Were there opportunities that they got to get in and experience the game? Or was it more so we're going to get these seniors, we're going to make sure they get their reps, and so we can be ready to make a deep playoff run?
Well, that was the hard part, getting our starters in, the seniors, so that we could make a run in the playoffs. But there were a lot of games, where we won like 41-0. So those were the games that we would throw everyone in, So, it was great that our seniors were able to put us into that position so we could get, the sophomores and the juniors in, so that maybe next year we can kind of build off of those. We'll see. It was kind of tricky, but I think this next year, hopefully we bring back a lot of those, the girls that did get a little bit of more experience from that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, it sounds like you have a plan. Sounds like this plan has been successful, and now I'm sure as these ladies go on and play their other sports, and Lucy moves on, and good luck to you in your future, Lucy. And please keep us in touch with what you do here on the fifth quarter, so we can keep broadcasting about your career as you go forward. And Blanca, you're going to be playing softball, so I wonder if the coaches are going to be going to the games every time you slide and cringing.
Yeah, that's right.
So, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I always try to, because all of the other like soccer coaches were, they'd see their girls do something, and I'd see them cringe up a little bit. So it'll probably be the same thing, you know?
How do you feel about multi-sport athletes?
I love it. I mean, that's how, I grew up playing tons of different sports, and you gain some skills from other sports that will translate into the next one as well. So I think it's great. I fully support it, and I said I would never punish any of the girls for doing something other than flag football at the same time, because that's not fair to them. Like, let them grow up. They're in high school, right?
Yeah,
So let them do their thing. Let them compete in different sports, and I thought that was awesome. So,
Coach Johnson, how do you feel about it?
I agree. I think it's a great thing for all the girls to have multiple sports. I think they bring different skills to the table because of it. And I don't think we would have had as strong of a team if we didn't have girls that had already had athletic abilities in different areas. So I think I highly encourage them to continue doing sports throughout the year. And I think it's a good thing.
Absolutely. And Lucy, as you're going into college and you're getting ready to take this next step, can you talk about the schools that have touched base with you and recruited you for flag football, and maybe where you're leaning towards?
Trying to get a scoop here. Trying to get a scoop.
So I have 2 offers in Florida, and I have 1 in California, and then I got offered to go play for the ASU team. And by next year, it is going to be a NCAA sport. So.
And you're leaning towards?
I do.
do you have the hat? You don't put the hat on and be like, all
Yeah, you
right.
got all these hats in front of you.
Yeah. We'll save it. When you make a decision, we'll bring you back and let you do the hats and tell everybody where you're going.
In making that decision, do you talk to your teammates about it? Do you talk to other girls at all about it? Or is this just something you and your family really are holding close?
I think it was a big decision for me to transfer from playing beach, because I had already committed to a school in California to football, but the person that I mostly talked to about was Blanca, because we always talk about playing in college together, so I always keep her updated on where I'm going.
Well, that's all right.
That's
Both of your
cool.
futures are very bright as far as that's concerned in doing that. So, again, coaches, I mean, the love is obviously there for both of you. Did you expect the love to be as great as it is, and the expectations reached would be as high as they were?
No, it was crazy, the bond that we made with these girls, and I just went out there teaching the love of the sport that I have and hopefully translating to them, and then seeing them actually kind of adopt that love for the sport as well. That's all that I was asking for, and it was kind of heartwarming to see them take flag football so seriously and take it, and now moving on and going to do it for her future, and maybe some of the others that decide to and make that an option for them.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing their success is probably the craziest thing that you can experience as a coach, and this is the first time I'm experiencing as a coach, so very cool.
That's cool. That's good. And Blanca, how was it for you playing against Donna? I know you and Donna Carrasco are family. Your family, and 2 very, very good athletes. I know when Donna went down for Coach Johnson, it kind of, hurt them a little bit, more than a little bit, hurt them a lot. But I seen both of you after the game, having both of your jerseys up, and just showing that love and that relationship for each other while still battling were you out on the sidelines? Yeah, catch that, Donna. Or, no, I hope you missed that. How was that work? Because I know how tight you guys are.
I mean, I like playing against her. It was our first time like ever playing against each other, and like there was a couple times where they get close to the end zone and they throw it to her, and I was like, "Oh, don't catch that."
Well, that's where it's got to be. But you showed the love afterwards, and I know you both are rooting for each other as you go forward, and it's just nice to see that within a city rivalry. And as intense as it can be, to still go in between the lines and I'm going to beat you, and then I'm going to give you a hug afterwards. And that's the beauty of Flagstaff right there, and I give you guys kudos for that.
Yes.
So, Coach, we usually have a golden nugget question. Do you have this week's golden nugget question of the day?
Coach, I'm slipping. I actually don't have a golden nugget question of the day because I'm just so engaged in the conversation. I wanted to know from each of you what was the most memorable thing from this season? What's something from this season that you'll take with you? Just the most memorable thing. And ladies, when y'all go, I know how y'all be doing. Oh, that was mine too. I don't want to hear me too. Tell me something unique. I want coaches and players to tell me what was the most memorable thing of the season and how will you take that forward?
I would say for me, it was just the bonds that I created with the athletes. These girls just never failed to amaze me every single day, and I was so proud to see their growth throughout the season. And it's going to be really hard next year losing 13 of them. But I'm just so proud of them, and I'm just so thankful that I got the experience to work with them.
That's awesome. Blanca, let's go to you.
I just liked bonding with my teammates, and just accomplishing things that we didn't even know was like we were going to do. And just having that bond with each other is really probably one of the most memorable things like this whole season.
That's awesome. Lucy?
I would probably say like getting through the hard things together. Like we all had each other's back no matter what. Like if it was a hard conditioning day or we were running sprints, like we all had each other's back. If we were doing the mile, like when we lost against Prescott, we were all really upset. But I think in the end we all came together and all took responsibility for it. And I think just the harder things made us closer in the end than like the wins and stuff, getting through those battles together.
That's awesome. Coach Powers?
I'd probably say just seeing the girls' growth, not just in football, but as people, and so they grew together individually, and as a coach, seeing them build these type of relationships, these type of skills that hopefully they can bring on, in the future with them to college or wherever they go after. I think that was really special to see from all the girls.
Let's take that one step further.
Okay.
Give me one play that you remember during the season that you'll never that one play just was like, wow, we did that. Blanca?
Oh, shoot, sorry. I would say at our second round of playoffs, the away game when we did a hook and go, and I ran a hook and go, and it was the last 7 seconds, and Blanca threw it to me on top of 2 defenders, and we scored.
Hey,
game winning score at that.
Well, tying.
Yeah.
She said over 2 defenders.
Yeah.
That's right.
She mossed them.
She did. She really did.
Mossed them. So, Blanca.
I'd probably go from that game too, like the game-winning score. I think we ran, it was bunch middle, flood right, fake running back pitch left, QB dive right. And I was supposed to run it, but Lucy was already in the end zone. And I threw the ball. The girl tipped it, and it went right into Lucy's hands.
Wait. What was the play y'all called?
Hey, don't be telling them the plays, bro. We got work to do next year.
Just keep it coming. I'm just gonna sit here in silence, just keep it coming.
Hey, Blanca, he ain't gonna remember all you said just because I don't either. That's why.
Blanca, we world renowned. We on YouTube. I can go find it.
He gets one. We had 48. We're good.
So, Coach Johnson, what one play just stood out to you that was like, wow, we pretty good. That was nice. The offensively or defensively?
I think it's hard to say one because there's so many times when the defense, it was a fourth down and they just stopped them and it turned the tides for the game. Again, in that quarterfinal game when they stopped him in the overtime and didn't allow him to score, which then gave us the turn to go ahead and try to score in the end zone. Just the defense, they were incredible. They were unstoppable. And so it's hard to pick just one. But I guess when we were given that opportunity in overtime to score and they stopped it I think it was either third or fourth down and they stopped the ball. It was incredible.
Coach Powers.
It's hard. We had such a good offense. It was so much fun to watch. But I would have to say this one catch that Danny made during Eastmark game, she caught it way over her head, and right when she hit the ground, she made a juke and broke some girl's ankles. Poor girl, and she ran all the way down. It was like a 70-yard touchdown, but it was sweet. So I don't know, something like that. I was like, man, it's flag football, but they didn't miss any of the excitement from tackle football. That was that was sweet.
Well, that's all right. So this has been great. I can truly say all of Flagstaff is proud of what you guys accomplished. Think you shocked the state in what you did, and just put them on alert.
Yeah, exactly.
That because Coach Johnson, they did really well last year, came back, Mr. Coach Johnson did really well last year, came back, went to state. So both of our two teams were played in Little Bitty Flagstaff, went to state. And so I think all of us ought to just be proud of both teams. And if when one goes down, we back the other. And I think that's what happened in you guys' case. Just looking forward.
No, yeah.
To many more games, many more inner-city rivalries, and more state tournament games.
That's
so
right.
Congratulations to all of you, and just looking forward to what's next.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you guys for joining us today and, being a part of the fifth quarter. And, again, congratulations on a great inaugural season. Looking forward to what you're going to do here next year and subsequent years. And, obviously, if we got 12 games on the schedule, I'm rooting for you 11 of them.
That's right. That's right.
I can't root for you all 12, but 11 of them I'm going to root for you. Yep. And Lucy, best of luck to you. You know what I mean? Really keep us posted on what you're going to do. And Blanca, we'll be seeing you for a couple more years, throwing balls, then telling me because I said something, that's how you knew where to run and all that.
Did you say something, Coach?
She said, I knew to run because you were yelling at somebody. I was like, I wasn't even yelling at nobody. I don't yell at the defense. She's like, yeah, I knew to run because I heard your voice.
That's what happens when you know somebody too well, Blanca. That's smart. That's smart, man. Once again, of course, Blanca, like I said, we've known you since you were a little bitty girl, and we're just so proud of you. And Lucy, your reputation preceded you. I knew about you before I even met you, and everything has been true. Coaches, for you guys to come in the way you have. Did you guys know each other before this?
No.
So this was a complete learning experience, and to do as well, that's so impressive. And just kudos to you guys then. And, all the accolades, end of season accolades, Coach of the Years?
We didn't get Coach of the Year, but...
Well, you got it now. We gave it to you.
Okay. We'll take
you are the Coaches of the Year, as far as we're concerned. Yeah, I know the ladies received a bunch of accolades, and so, man, it's going to be hard, but definitely possible.
That's right.
To repeat what you even go greater. That's the thing about going to the semifinals and having that loss. As they say, sometimes a setback is a setup.
That's right.
For greater things.
You learn more in a loss than a win, for sure.
And I'm sure that's what you guys are.
Yep.
So, with that, we want to thank all of our guests. We want to thank Coach Johnson. Tough game. He lost to him. He didn't start crying when he seen him on the show and anything like that. So, he's a big boy today. So I'm proud of him. And, just want to thank you guys. And for this to be our actual first show back with guests, we couldn't ask for better guests than you four. So we appreciate you. Gives this show credibility, shows love for everybody, and just shows the young people, the great young people we have in this community, the coaches who are next to parents that we have in this community. And say, man, this is why I love Flagstaff. This is why I love Flagstaff. So, Coach, man, it's been a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good one, man.
Being able to talk to him like this, and hopefully next year we're talking about y'all meeting in the championship together.
That would be a better place to meet. So. Regular season and a championship.
Season,
Yes, indeed. We're going to meet this, but we're going to both take these all the way, man. And so, man, yeah, it's been a good show.
Yep.
We're back for sure now.
We back for sure. And if you liking what we doing, what they supposed to do?
Man, they supposed to hit that like button. They supposed to subscribe. They supposed to just do everything to show a little love to us, show a little love to the guests, Send in something, letting these ladies and this Mr. Coach here know how proud you are of them, because that's what this community is about. So please, hit that like button, subscribe, comment. If you know somebody that we're missing that needs to be on the show, hit us up. All right? We'd love to hear from you. And with that.
And simply tell somebody, hey, the fifth quarter's on.
That's right.
And go watch.
That's all they got to say. That's all they got to say.
Well, Coach, man, it's been real. And again, thanks to all the guests, and congratulations on your success. And we thank everybody for tuning in. But, it is that time. I don't know what people got to do today, but I do know one thing.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to leave here. Peace.